response to that, Queen.
The question, just to reiterate, was what do I think makes me qualified to have these type of conversation?
Yeah. And it was an emphasis on security.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, for me, it's a lack of ego, which is different from a lack of confidence. But because I lack ego, that gives me the patience to deal with people. That allows me to
It's hard to
decenter
hear you.
myself and truly like. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you. Yep.
Yeah, just have it allows me to have these conversations because of my lack of ego, which is different from lack of confidence. The lack of ego allows me to, I feel, be patient with people. It allows me to decenter myself, to truly listen to people and not just listen to rebuttal, but truly listen to understand and ask questions and investigate because the conversation is being had not to just everybody give their point or have a point to prove. The conversation is for comprehension. And I
I
think
get it.
without ego there, it allows for you to have solid comprehension because that's why most of these either just end up heated or just not getting anywhere because just people generally feel misunderstood from politics to relationship. People just don't feel heard.
Right. I feel that. And I know, Rock, I know you did. I know me and you had a couple bills on the ego thing and absolving yourself from that. What's your spin on that? What you think about that?
Nothing. I'm just
I
being
get
dead
it.
ass serious, dog.
Nah, I
Like
get it.
it's just
Okay, so Rock, I understand you say you think of nothing, but when
I
you
get
think
it.
that people bring ego into a conversation where it should be more maturity, what do you think about that? How do you think? Let's say you talking to a young boy, you having a conversation, he dead ass asking you about some
Mhm.
how to treat a woman, and you got this nigga over here telling you, yeah, fuck that bitch, you gotta cheat on her, you gotta beat on her, you gotta spit. And as a man of your stature, right, you would give a different type of advice, I'm sure. So how do you think that would affect a person, a young person? The difference in
advice wise.
perspective. That's
I'll just be
absolutely.
honest with him. It depends on the woman, the female he's dealing with. Is she that tight to get that treatment, or is she a lady? Because I've been fooled too many times to sit there and say, Peter might be nice to him.
So
That shit
where
always got me, the one on the sucker side of shit.
so where does
But not
ego
comp-
so where does ego come into play when giving advice?
by not giving advice.
That's what I think he meant by
I,
nothing. But can
I
you
respect
elaborate
that.
more on that? Elaborate. People,
Like, just
what do you mean by
most
that?
people just need an ear. They just need an ear. Just listen.
I respect.
Just listen. You know what I mean? And then a lot of time, like, what I did too many times mistake wise is I give my jewels to those who never asked for it, not knowing if they're swine or not.
I see.
You know what I'm saying? So just listen. And then it's like it's the same thing like a Yoruba divination where priestess they just listen.
Right.
And what they doing, they really listening, as I mentioned before, into the space of the heartbeat, like your true intentions. Because when the priest listening, they at the crossroad individual.
I can
Every
see
bad
that.
is a good, but good is a bad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's not even wrong with judgment, just listening. Because a lot of times when you listen, they know their own answer.
That's
Right.
very,
For the
very,
most part.
very
You know what I mean? They know their own answer.
You know what that reminds me of? It sounds. Remember when Neo met the Oracle in the Matrix, and she
Boom.
gave him the piece of
Boom. Yup.
candy, and he was why even ask me if I want it? You already know if I'm gonna have it or not, like if I'm gonna take it. And her response, you see, you're not here to make a decision. The decisions was already made. You here to understand why you made that decision, right? So when you just mention how like people already know the answer, like people already know, it's like people think they trying to figure out the decision to make when really they just trying to figure out why they already made the decision that was already made for them, or they already made for themselves rather. So I get where you coming from. And
Here goes something. Go ahead, I'm
mhm.
sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead finish because I was going to just answer his question, but go ahead.
Here go good way. When it was nothing saying, okay, I'm gonna know what I'm saying? Arm, leg, arm, head. That shit just happened. It was into nothing and became something. It wasn't no instructions. It just knew what it was. It just knew what it's supposed to become.
Right.
But there was no guidance. Now, granted, you want to go on molecular structure. There was a code, a sequence code. You know what I'm saying? That passed on genetics, but for the most part, it just happened. And I think like, well, if there's a sense of different abilities, like, you know, what these motherfuckers talk about in this room, there's more than one person there. Just be quiet and listen inward. And before you know it, you know you don't. You know what I'm saying? That's their thoughts, and you know what they think in a sense. But this only happens just from practicing, like a bodybuilder who goes to the gym 4 times a week. You're gonna.
And that's
So
probably
you know,
where insecurity derives from. You identifying with thoughts that aren't yours, or emotions that aren't yours.
Because Rabbit, that happened the first several years of our lives, bro. Like them thoughts, we were like sponges. Those wasn't our thoughts as kids. Those we was being infiltrated.
Right.
Wasn't being protected. Our parents didn't have us watch cartoons and come to find out them niggas putting, you know, subliminal.
So yeah,
programming this like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I like to answer your, I do believe I'm qualified because like Rock just said, and it's another thing too I want to add. You know, a lot of times, right, when you're faced, right, when you're like constantly in the face of adversity, right, or the things that will generate insecurity, you develop a security to it, immunity to it, sort of like how vaccines work, right? Like they introduce the virus to you, but control in a controlled manner. You understand? The way that you can metabolize it and internalize it and integrate it. I think the same thing happens or work when it comes to insecurity. Insecurity comes from, I feel, the inability of being able to acclimate or metabolize things that come in adversity to you. For me and personally, it was for too long where that was just life for me, and it was easier not resisting it and rather just acclimating and adapting to it. And that I didn't do that intentionally, but that had to be one of the most best things I ever could have did for myself, you know? Because now you realize that a lot of things that propel and push people in life is the things they're trying to get away from. Whereas the things that propel me is the things I'm trying to get back into, rather, you know? And I think that grants me the ability to be able to be in life conversations Pop mentioned earlier, right? Where a high level of insecurity may be reckoned in that. And I think that's home to me, you know, where people get all shaken up and ruffled up is where I actually found my refuge, you know. So that's my response to that. How about you, Pop?
I think what makes me qualified is I
can see that.
Hold on, I'm sorry. I had a phone call.
Nice.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
So I think my for adversary. Me personally, I'm not going to even use me being a black sheep or me being so unique that I feel like a unicorn as an excuse. I'm going to say that I've always been the type of person who went above and beyond to make the unaccepted feel accepted. I've always been that person who wanted to figure out why the bully was a bully and why he decided to bully the person he bullied. I was always that person. I have a lot of phone calls. I apologize. I've always been an inquisitive, spirit. And I think most of the time my questioning comes from wanting to be understood, not even wanting to understand, because I can understand you and I just really want to be understood. And I think what makes me adequate enough to even have the conversation is because I want to be understood so desperately that I have no choice but to be. So my compassion and my empathy comes from experience. And you know what I mean? When people think of a safe place, as I think I told you previously, Rapid, when people think of a safe place, they think of home, they think of grandma, they think of family. I want people to also think of me. I want to be a safe place for not just conversation, but for all kinds of spirits and energies that aren't malicious and aren't malevolent. I really want to be able to make someone comfortable enough to experience love.
Right.
So I think that's what makes me qualified.
Love. That's been the word. That's been the word of the last few months for me. Love, man. Love. You know
I
what?
think that's important.
Yeah, yeah.
I think
What you
there should be
think?
love in all things. If there's love in all things, there's God in all things.
Right, God. Why you? Nah, you good, bro. You good. It's all. What you? Why you?
All right, I'm listening. I've been having this experience these past moon cycles in this year. Boomerang's experience. Boomerang's old relationships popping up again. People who before I knew the power I had in myself, when I was just like a little light bulb trying to light up, little conscious time light up, just learning. Years go by, like a dug go by, and people hitting certain stages in their life. It'll be like a lot of them going. The second puberty be the spiritualism, and chuckle because listening, and then thinking of something and the answer coming up. Listening to you guys, listen to the answer as far as love. People searching for love, where you coming back because you knew that love was real.
Right.
Let's be honest with it. It's like four. I swear to God, it's like four of them, y'all. And it's like they all. Now we all grown women. It's like we coming back to where it's like. I know it's desperate because you had no respect of the boundary. You don't care to find out. Like it's like somebody saying help. And it's just like you hit me up 1:30 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning on my phone, not caring about working. Send me messages versus during the day. You had all goddamn day what you want to get. Hit me up this time and that.
I feel you.
So I look deep into it. What's I don't get my feelings. It touched my feelings. Not to sit there and say I'm gonna get upset or feel some kind of way. No, I'm gonna be scientific, examine this shit. Like what's going on?
Resonate. Yeah.
Right. That's what's going on. And then it been happening in the moon cycles. So, I'm saying to say when your power is enhanced, you have to be in tune. It's like it's not no tomorrow. It's not no yesterday. It happens in a moment, right now. And you're not aware of it. You could miss it. Not being aware of it. So, me asking the question, what's this boomerang shit happening? Why they returning? And I chuckle because again, it's the love. It's like, yeah, I know what's going on.
It's the love.
You see, right? You're a woman, and here you are. You just hit your 40s. When I met him, I was in my late 20s. He was in the early 20s. You know what I'm saying? So now Rock 50, we were early 40s, 39, 40, 41 type shit. Like you seeking what's real. Or what was, maybe you didn't realize it because you was blind by the illusion. When we young, we be blind by a lot of illusions. But it's like, when I sniff this shit real good, these motherfuckers, they looking for love, though.
It's a fact. And that's been the thing. And that's been the thing.
What rabbit, though?
I'm right here. You hear me? I'm here.
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm grown. I'm different now.
Queen, you there? Pop, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
It's like when I love, I was ignorant to myself into a lot of things, I was a totally different person. I ain't even know who I was as far as I wasn't even aware of the internal. I was all external, all in as you say, right, with the all in that shit, right? And then Rock didn't know about the dark side, and then in my comprehending, the question was how do you gotta master your darkness? And now that I have understanding that is a dark side where it's like, okay, you violated me in the sense where I don't give a fuck anybody say. This is my man perspective, yo. We innocently like a person, female, a woman, right? With true intentions, and then not quite understanding, anything about a woman or what you're supposed to bring We all know what how to treat one, but not other way around. We get hurt. We get hurt real bad, and we're not conscious of ourselves to realize that we did that to ourselves.
What makes you
But
say
we
that?
blame them
What
for it,
makes what makes
huh?
you feel like it's not? What makes you say that? What makes you feel like it's not something learned, or what makes you believe that we did it to ourselves and
Mm.
that in actual
Oh,
reality it wasn't?
that's easy because it's a
Good
choice.
question.
Like because I wasn't steadfast at the time. I wasn't aware of myself. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about the ego, and somebody do something with their body, with their decisions for their life, and I chose. She kissed. She kissed me.
I get it.
That's her choice, her experience. But me not knowing myself, I let that bother me, or most likely females will do it. They let that shit bother them where, they scar their own heart and they blame the other person.
You misplaced
But
love.
what makes it does it though, right? It's the sightings where you knew how I felt about you, but you was being sneaky on it. You mean like come to me and say, hey Rabbit, what? I'm feeling such and such, and I'm gonna go over there and chill with him, or vice versa. Like nobody does that. It's always like, oops, well, I didn't mean to. You want your
I
cake and
think
eat it too. That's what it's called, right?
I think things like that is only possible when we mistake love in the wrong places.
Right, that too.
It's
I'm
true.
young,
Like, yeah, that's okay.
but now I'm older now. The way it's like, here's a woman coming back. Okay, you just validated that I was never wrong in the first place, but you won't say it directly. It's just, again, 70% of communication is what you do, what they do. So, but in general, it's like it's based in love. Like these people looking for love, like that real shit. Because you gotta love yourself. Like when you love yourself, yo, you tolerate.
So let me ask you, what is love to you? What is love to y'all? All of y'all. In your own perspective. What would y'all say love is?
Being able to see somebody despite their flaws and just
Just seeing them? Mhm.
appreciating who that person is,
Mhm.
loving them so much that you're willing to sacrifice, that you're willing to, spend the rest of your life, that you're willing to do all these things that can put you in risk, or, may not even be about you, but you see who that is. The best way I could say, like, what made me realize it, because the first person I loved was, and I'm parental or family, the first person I loved was a woman, because that was my best friend. And I didn't realize is that I loved her for who she was. Like, I loved her personality. I loved what she stood for. I just loved her, like the kind-natured person she was, where it was like I instantly just always had good things to say about her, and it was put her not on a pedestal, because I would still hold her accountable and talk to her, but it was a way of like, like, I know that you have flaws, and I know that you are not perfect, but like I still admire the person you would. And the way I learned that I loved that person later on was because I would have boyfriends when it really wouldn't look at it the same. It was like, yeah, you're a great person, but you're not doing this, you're not doing this, you're not doing that, you're not doing this, you're not doing this. So it's like you're kind of combating and looking at flaws in this person where you're not accepting
Mhm.
who that person is. But when you truly understand and you relate, you see the human, and you look at yourself, you're like, damn, this person is human. You can truly accept a person for who they are, and they're willing to go above and beyond for them. I think that's what love is, because that's what God does. He sees you for who you are, and he's willing to sacrifice. It's not just a sacrifice, it's the willing to sacrifice.
Feel that. What you think?
To me, love is not transactional, conditional, or manipulative. I think that most times we find these loves that are possessive, right? Like if I stop pleasing you, you stop loving me. A love based in condition. I think that when you really find love, you have a mutual respect and appreciation for a person's autonomy. I need you to respect and appreciate me and my autonomy completely, period. I think that most times we have this tainted, convoluted way of what love is simply because what we are used to perceiving isn't necessarily love, or isn't necessarily unconditional love. Now, when I think of love, I don't think of relationships. I just don't. I don't think that love, my expression, my idea of love does not come from romance. It comes from something bigger than
Mm-hmm.
that. You know what I'm
Fact.
saying? So, so
Feel it?
I find myself I find myself fantasizing about the kind of love that I want and always being disappointed with the love that I receive. So I do know what love is, and I do have the capacity to love, but to receive it is another thing. And so to me, love is respect and appreciation for a person and with them in autonomy.
I feel that. I respect that. Respect y'all.
I would like to add really quickly though, because not to maybe to rebuttal a little bit of what Pop said, not to say anything he said wrong, but just like my perspective on it when it comes to the conditional love. I believe unconditionally I can be in love with somebody, but the choice to love, I believe that, and it may be because of women, like how we decide to date a partner. I do believe there are conditions. I don't necessarily believe there is unconditional love in the aspect of like, I'm going to be with this person no matter what. I think you could be in love with somebody unconditional, like you love them no matter what they do, who they are, but you could still decide to be like, am I going to have you in my space or not? Like, am I going to, but like conditionally to the choice to love somebody, I do think there are and should be conditions, but that's just my personal opinion.
No,
I
So
feel that.
I appreciate your response and I appreciate your opinion. But I think that where you and I differ is where when love comes to mind and love is mentioned, where our mind goes. Your mind goes automatically to the romantic aspects of love, which you've proven twice already. Right? I listened to you previously, and it seems as though you are, in my opinion, that you are you're searching for the other shoe to drop, so to speak, when you are in relationships and things like that. But me personally, I don't. I the, I already previously said that I don't. When I think of love, I don't think of the romantic aspect. I mean, I'm sure it's possible that you can receive unconditional love in the romantic aspect, but that is the furthest thing from my mind. I think you will receive unconditional love platonically before you receive it romantically. I think it's
But
more tangible from a friend, from a mother, from a sister, than it is from a lover, in my opinion. So, which is why I don't use romance as a catalyst for love.
But I'm not speaking about just romance, though. That goes with friends. If you have a friend who's not really a friend for you, you can love them, but to the choice of saying, like, I'm going to do the actions of love and support you and be with you, like, you can choose, like, you know what, I love you, but you're not a good friend to me. Like, or a toxic parent. You could love your parent, but decide to go no contact, not because you don't love them, but because the actions of love, I can't have you in my space. Like, it's not just a romantic association. I mean, that romantic is one of our biggest, most important relationships we'll have as human beings, generally, not everybody, but generally. But it goes far
I don't
beyond
agree with that
just,
though.
it just goes far beyond. The only reason I say that is because people choose a partner and they spend
with
that the
love,
rest of their lives with that partner. Like, you have friends for life, but you don't sleep in the bed, wake up with your friends, go make choices, life decisions with your friends. Like, your partner is going to be the most influential relationship in your life. Like, that's what I mean.
So with
you
me,
know, when I thought when I was felt good, felt wonderful. And I thought, it wasn't something that was taught. It was just winning, right? To make long story short, here's the part that was crazy that kind of like fucked me up for the better. Like when I was in love, I wasn't even experienced because it was like it was what I learned was it was more of a love feeling externally towards someone versus myself. Like I never been in love while I love myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in love with myself, but to experience a love experience relationship with someone while I'm loving myself. That's it's an
mm,
energy where you attract you attract the right frequencies from an individual. It's not just a needy touch or be in the space. It's more or less I enjoy this life so much that I'm not gonna tolerate nothing at a low degree, nothing that doesn't add. Like,
I
for
feel
instance, two people who like each other, they get in an argument, right, or fuss. Let's just say a discussion, a debate that leads to fussing of it. And, you know, yeah, without being conscious of it, can lead to a fight, argument, or y'all can just,
I get
why
it.
be in the past upset about,
I get it.
like, a lot of weird shit happen, you know what I mean?
What?
So,
Go ahead.
try it with yourself. Like, I'm try to love yourself, be in love with you before you experience love with another person. You see the difference in that versus you just, you know, catch a feeling for somebody else. And
with me, love, true, genuine love, is a state of mind. So I think unconditional love is an experience. That's what the true terminology of unconditional love is. It's an experience that you're able to experience despite the expression in which the experience is coming through, right? I feel a lot of people base their love off the expression, and the expression could be how this relationship is going about. This is why when Queen said earlier,
Mm-hmm.
like, we can break up, I don't have to be with you, but I still love you, right? That means the expression doesn't dictate my experience that I'm gonna have with you, right? The experience is like the reality, like that's the truth to me. And for you to truly say you unconditionally love someone means that you truly have an experience that no expression in life can never alter this
Mm-hmm.
experience, you know, like whatever that experience may be. And I honestly think that the true experience of love can only come through the consciousness state of love. You feel me? You have to be vibrating. You have to have the awareness of love to even experience things under the lens or context of love. And a lot of us misidentify love expressions. Rock said earlier when he was younger and he externally identified with things. These was expressions in which he misplaced the experience through those expressions with the experience itself when it actually was the expression. You know, so I think that's
how you
something
get
that's,
hurt.
yeah, we fall for expressions.
That's how bitches and dogs are born. Like, you know, that's how people or villains are made. So you don't understand what love is, yo. You're fucked up like that.
Yeah.
Especially, case in point, you know, there's a female, a woman you love. She was your first, or you was her first, or both of y'all was first. And she gets pregnant, and you know, teenager, she has an abortion. Years go by, you know, it really fucks the woman up, you know. It does. It can haunt them. Even if she had another child or two, it's gonna haunt them. You gonna have that thought, what if that child was like, oh, they just hung in there and kept it. But you know, that's no man's guilt to throw on her. That's all hers. But the other avenue is like legacy of the man who, you know, who was in love with someone who opened their legs to him, and he planted the seed for resurrection, and then that shit was, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that shit fucks people up sometimes. You know what I mean? Not quite understanding what's going on, and then, you know, many go on and they don't heal it. Very few they take the time to heal it. You understand? To comprehend what's going on. Like I said earlier, like, too many times in my life, I chose to let things hurt me, and not realizing it. Like, it was only in the darkness I was able to see, like, no, you did that. How you figured? You could have ignored it. You could have moved from it. You choose to embrace it. Be a victim of that circumstance. It was some heavy shit. It was hard to handle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's like saying, you know, you chose to go through all your pain or your suffering. Like, you chose that. Why would I choose that? That's the ego doing the shit. The higher self was like, nah, nigga, that's some real shit. I mean, when you accept that, that's when the real healing begins, because it's just nobody. But you gotta face that demon and sit to say, hey, nigga, why I'm fighting you, man? You demon like, motherfucker, I've been trying to help you, nigga. You been fighting with me. That, you know, then next thing you know, your demon's your best. You know what I
Demon
mean?
was you.
That demon, the demon was the spectator of that. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, yeah, it was you. It was the little boy. It was the
Yeah, that
little
demon.
17, 6, 7-year-old Jew that you
Yeah.
left when you ran from that scary time or experience in your life. You forgot.
Now,
You left
watch
yourself
this.
back then.
Now, see me, I had to learn to obtain love. Like, I mean, I have a fantasy with reality. You know what I mean? So like, a situation now where up there in the age where they dealing with menopause, they see that every time cycle they have established to it, and they always go to who did. Like, okay, you said earlier, I can love you, but don't have to be with you type shit, right? If a female ever told me that shit, like, I completely, you're not gonna.
Why is that dragging? Because that means
most part, he or she knows that he or she knows how much that person likes them, want them type shit, and it could have been
ego.
What's that?
The ego, the attachment.
Yeah.
The expression should not
right.
dictate the experience. So you're saying that it's not. So it really wasn't about me. You wasn't really for me. You was about what I made, what I created, the expression.
Yeah, what they feel, right? That feeling, right? Versus saying, hey, I'm not really feeling you like that, so I don't want to lead you on, But you keep pursuing it, it's gonna eventually happen like that. Or like when a chick be like, no, I'm not feeling at all, and nothing happened. Versus you using a nigga or using her type shit. Like stop, like manipulation can build. But like me right now, it's more or less okay. Hit the boomerang, you come back around, and where my conscience at now is in a gentle way, because I'm hiding. This is camouflage. I've been good to you. I've been nice to you. I did these things, but it wasn't good enough, or was it? But here you are, decades later. So it's like, okay, I'm gonna take everything from you. That's what it is. I'm not gonna dare open my heart to that shit again. Fuck no. You after the fact, you know what I'm saying? Like, I learned, well, it's still kind of too late. I learned too. I'm good.
I feel you. Some people.
Because females, the feminine or females, they concerned with the masculine future.
Can I ask?
The masculine concerned with the past. Yeah, go ahead, sure.
When you say you'll never do it again, do you mean like in general or just with that person?
That person.
Okay.
Because see, in general, I'm smart with it. It's like, if I meet somebody, well, also it depends too. Like it depends. Because like, I gotta admit, one case, it was like, I knew a person making a mistake. It's okay, go learn it. So I can say, I told you so. And that gave me more merit. You know what I'm saying? More like, when the boomerang came back, like, oh shit, you was right. Yeah, nigga, I know what I'm talking about. Then turn your back on them. They follow. You know what I'm saying? You just hold the respect there. But for the most part, like, me, if I met someone new, fuck it, I'm gonna take my chance. Like, why not? Like, I don't want to enter that with fear. That's corny as hell. I know, because I now know that, hey, she can't break my heart. But I'm enjoying it. Stay in the moment, stay present. Because a lot of women do this. They base, reason why they don't have relationships, because they live in the past. Project their past traumas into the present or to another person who they know nothing about. Well, I mean, relationships though, I'm just saying, what kind of relationship, I always notice it's always, yeah, the men do it as well, but the female do it a lot more with it,
No, I'm telling you, you notice it because you date females. It happens just as often.
Because it's just, you pick the wrong people. Like, I can't put on you what the last person, that I picked, not like, it's like, they still got work to do. Because of this and that, you're gonna do this and this for me. No. I'm good. See you later. We ain't got much time, y'all, and people they playing a lot, yo. You know what I'm saying? Relationships is like building tall buildings. You got to have a foundation. The higher you go, the higher you got to go down. And a lot of people it's too late. So I don't. That's why I don't play games with women, because women, they time. They literally are time. I don't waste it. It goes to that cycle, the ovulation, go to that menopause when it comes. They got that beauty cycle, and you look at their physical construct, I mean, their time. That's why the hourglass is. The more games she play, you know what I'm saying, her beauty has sand, and it's in the hourglass. It's gonna run out. So you got to establish a relationship with a person. They see rabbit now, and they see rabbit and realize, the true person within him or him.
I
You
see
gotta
where
be
you
careful,
coming.
like,
I see where you
you
coming
know what I
from.
mean, like, yeah, real
Yeah.
shit. Like, grow. You gotta grow into somebody's beauty and grow into their ugliness. Like, ugliness is, she gonna get ugly, he gonna get ugly. It's what it is. Like, that's what we call it. But it's aging. But that's still a cool process because you build wealth. Like, you're not doing it by your motherfucking self. You're not alone.
That's why you gotta base it off the experience. You gotta value the
Right.
experience you have with a person, not the expression. Because
Right.
that's the real reality. Whether it's true or not, right? And that's the thing too. That's what made me think about it. Other night, Queen, you was mentioning about Einstein, and he was saying that he thought he was wrong, but he actually was true. He actually was right. And I come to realize that despite whether he was true, right, whether he was telling the truth about it or not, the reality was the experience everyone had, regardless of that truth, right, or the truth of it, you know. And that's the reality, though. The reality is the experience, you know. And what we were speaking about a lot of times, what's real, what's not real, what's true, what's not true, what's factual, not factual, is the expression. It's the expression. And I say that because everything in the universe is an expression, right? Life, everything in life is expressing something. And let's say that something is God,
Everything.
right? The expression is God. Let's say everything is expressing itself. What's that, bro? Oh.
So all set.
Yeah. So I'm saying we
Because
all
think about it,
have
God,
to
like,
we all have to be alive. We all have to live. And I'm saying our
yeah,
experience in
be off
life
balance
is
with it. We gotta
unique,
have
is
both.
different. So, and that experience creates our reality, for us each individually. So it's not really the expression that really is the big, which we should be focusing our attention on. Like, this is red, this is white. If that person is experiencing purple, then that is real. Like, whatever the way is expressed to it. And I say that because people look at that like, oh, no, it shouldn't be that way, or it shouldn't be this way. But you don't see how, like, liberating it is to look at it from this perspective. Because then this allows you to be able to experience anything despite the expression. That means you could be, your life could be expressed in poverty, right? But you don't have to experience poverty based off the expression. You can experience abundance if that's what you choose to tap into. You feel me? So, like, the expression does not dictate the experience. You have people like Malcolm X who went to jail, which is a very oppressive expression, you feel me, of life. Despite of that, he still found the way to experience something within that was liberating, life-changing, not just for him, but for many others. You understand? So that's liberating. Like, we shouldn't get so, oh, no, you're wrong, you're right. It's not about that. That just keep us in a box. Oh, he been had left out. I think his phone died, or, he's moving around right now. Okay. But it's all good. I'm gonna wrap it up soon. We had like 43 minutes, This is good, solid.
No, I was just enough time. I'm just asking.
So
yeah, go ahead, right?
And all right. So let's on a positive note, like, we're going out, hanging out, linking up, having good times and shit. Consistently, right? A week becomes two becomes a month. My month becomes two. Counting the moon cycle, right? We're going to this new moon coming up soon. Yesterday was a new moon, right? And so I'm counting these cycles, and then by the time it's 14, 15, 16, 17, it's 15 to 21st. I think it's gonna be a big ass moon type shit, like, energy wise. I'm focused on that, but more or less, like, so hanging out consistently for like 2.5, maybe 3 moon cycles. This is art now I'm doing called creating space. No contact, no text. Everything's on a mental. It's the point where it's okay. It's like, okay, do this person or do yourself really want to do this? Like, if someone you had in your bed, waking up in the morning. If someone took you out to eat and you took them out to eat type shit, like, having a good time, doing all types of shit, freaky deaky shit, which is cool. So it's like, bro, what's going on? So you create space, let everything settle down. If there's any anticipation to build up, but ain't nothing, then it's like, you what's the word I'm looking for? You state your piece, you moving. But it doesn't have to be difficult and complicated. You don't gotta play nobody's life like that. Like it's like if you are, stop using people because you're using yourself. And it like another thing, like listen to the sisters, like they listening, like if there's a guy you involved with, a lot of time it gets or a guy that's involved with a female. A lot of time the moment is what it is. It gets no better than that as far as like there's no the type of person you want ain't coming. You know what I mean? You gotta have a romance with reality versus fantasy. Right. Did I say it wrong?
Nah, that sounds about right.
Yeah. So it's like, because the person that if she's female, the guy that you want, trust me, he don't want you, and you ain't gonna get him. There's nothing wrong with, and the same thing with the dude. There's nothing wrong with settling. Like, all right, for instance, this woman may have handles, maybe a little overweight. Like a lot of guys, we like that little extra, juicy pudge, right? I'm not saying you're obese and shit. I'm just saying the one they be insecure about a little simple thing that most guys be like. And she's like that. When she bring it up or insecurity about her weight, encourage exercise, working out with her, doing it with her. That changes the dynamics. It shows, okay, you willing to invest time to help her help herself. At the same time, if you do it, it takes place. Look for the reciprocate, the reciprocity. It comes back because it's a give and take and give. Your man in a bad mood, he ain't feeling cool. He in a bad mood, something to happen, I said it before, show that man a titty. Or give him some ass. Give him some head. You gotta know when. Not always.
I guess,
go ahead, I'm listening.
No, I guess just to wrap it up in general, ask you guys, like, for someone who is young and starting out, whether they're a man or a woman, and starting out dating for the first time, what is, in a sweet and simple way, as best as you can put it, like, what would be the most important piece of advice you could give them about how to choose a prospective person to spend the rest of their life with?
Go ahead, Rock. What?
All right, spend the rest of their life with. Okay, it's respect.
If you're looking yourself. For that.
Right, but either way, short term, long term, for the initiation, respect yourself. Period. Boundaries. Period.
I feel that.
There's no point if I gotta lie to you. If like, it's crazy because like. It's like they say, women want to be lied to. If I gotta lie to you, like that makes me that rusty. That taints me. If I gotta be honest, it ain't what I say, it's how I say it. So so if there's some honesty, be mindful. Like me, I'm gonna talk into her, and not to her, at her, because it's I don't want, no offense, I don't want the ego to get involved with insecurity. No, it's some real shit. Like, yo, you need to lift the ring. Your breath. I don't want to kiss you. Got rotten mouth. Like. You have the onion rings, you know what I'm saying? It's how you say it. Like, same thing with the women. It's how you present it to them.
Well, with me, I think if I had to give one piece of advice, I would say, I don't know, everybody got their own beliefs. I'm not religious, but everybody universally got the general idea of what God essence is, right? And I think moving woman or man, make sure you put God first, put love first. Like, don't love something, just, you feel me? And it even says in the Bible, like, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it's not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, and it's not easily to anger. It keeps no record of wrongdoing. It always hopes, it always endures, and always perseveres. And I think that's something that we all want within our relationships. And I think if we could just hold that state, the state in which the type of experiences align and associate with that, then I think naturally we will be in relationships that we don't even have to work for, because the love will utilize itself. But make sure we identify people that's putting love first and synchronize with one another. That'd be the biggest piece.
Mm, learn yourself.
Mm.
Learn yourself. Learn if you are capable of accepting love. If what you're looking for is really love, some people may not be looking for a lifelong partner. Learn yourself. And that's obviously like to tail off on what you said, that's going to be the person that should be your first love and the love that you kind of keep throughout your life, which is in a sense your relationship with yourself and with God and believing in something higher than yourself and
Right.
just understanding who you are as a person, what you want. So therefore you're not wasting anybody's time and you're not going to let nobody waste your time.
Right. And more importantly, you're not wasting your time. Greater than yourself. Sometimes you can't get yourself out of some things. As you have something greater than you that you can at least rely on every now and again, you better off than not, So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. But it's just, I know we ain't giving it's TUR, bringing it to you live. Hopefully we'll have some more going on real soon for y'all. We have Queen and we have Rock.
Yeah.
Feel free to come by every now and again. Yeah, for sure. TUR. We out.
Peace.
Goodbye.